Mrs. Norielyn C. Narciso, one of the secondary school heads of Alfonso District, Principal 2 of Kaytitinga National High School for 2 years now. An energetic, a very focused principal, and a research enthusiast, whose legacy spans not only in the district level but also in the national. Mrs. Narciso is an instructional supervisor who provides immediate technical assistance to the teachers. She is also an assessor of learning outcomes, a prime mover, and an implementer of programs. One of her visions is to start Project SIM for Kaytitinga National High School students. It is her utmost desire that the school may be known for its excellence in science education. This is one of the reasons why she, the researcher, come up with a study entitled Effectiveness of Project SIM as Localized Science Learning Intervention in Improving the Academic Performance of Grade 7 students of Kaytitinga National High School. Context and rationale. Based on UNESCO Mid-Decade Assessment Report of Southeast Asian Education Systems, participation and achievement rates in basic education in the Philippines had fallen dramatically. Such deficiencies were reflected in the poor performance of Filipino students in international assessment tests, such as Trends in International Mathematics and Science Study, or the TIMSS. Most of the rankings of the Philippines in terms of quality educations in science and mathematics show that although we are not the most bottom, we are still on average ranking or below average ranking. Some of the factors that account for this low performance of Filipino students in science include the deficiencies in curriculum, lack of instructional materials, and teachers' training. In most cases, conducting of experiment or scientific experiments that will enable the students to explore is also hindered. In Science Curriculum Guide provided by the Department of Education for K-12 program, the topic about familiarization of laboratory equipment are no longer included in the secondary level, in which the students find it hard to use the equipment that they are not familiar with. So, poor skills in performing laboratory experiments results to lower academic performance. It is for this reason that the researcher conducted this study to explore the effects of exposing the student to interactive displays under Project SIM, or the Science Interactive Museum. For the research questions. This study aimed to determine the effectiveness of Project SIM as localized intervention for guiding the grade 7 students of Kaytitinga National High School for the school year 2018-2019 in familiarizing themselves with the tools and equipment inside the laboratory. Specifically, the study focuses to answer the following questions. First, how is the academic performance of grade 7 students before the implementation of Project SIM? Second, how are the students exposed to the interactive displays during their visits to the Science Interactive Museum? Third, what is the progress in the academic performance of grade 7 students after the intervention? And lastly, is there significant difference between the pretest and post-test results of the students? Scope and limitation. This study focused on the analysis of the effectiveness of Project SIM in enhancing the academic performance of grade 7 students of Kaytitinga National High School in science for the first quarter, which is for the school year 2018-2019. The respondents used were students from sections K-Rilao, Bilog, Medina, Kaisuyo, and Tua, with a total of 173 students from grade 7. The study took place from June to August of 2018, while the students were studying chemistry in their first quarter. For methodology, Before the students had their visit to the museum, a pilot pretest was administered to the respondents. Every month, from June to August 2018, the researcher exposed the students to the display of the Science Interactive Museum. And during each visit, the students have the opportunity to manipulate the tools as well as the setups related to their lessons in chemistry, in biology, in physics, and in earth science. After the 3 visits in the Science Interactive Museum, the students were administered with posttest. The scores of each student were recorded and underwent statistical treatment to determine whether there were significant differences on their mean scores in the pretest and the posttest. For the results and discussion. Based on the table presented, it shows the mean percentage scores or the MPS and standard deviation or the SD of raw scores of grade 7 students during the pretest and posttest exams. Among the 5 groups, Section 2A got the highest increase in MPS and highest SD. Another table was presented in this study, which summarizes the statistical analysis of the test results upon verification with paired t-test. At 0.10 alpha value, all sections of grade 7 students get the calculated t-value, which is higher than the tabulated t-value. This led the researcher to reject null hypothesis and accept alternative hypothesis. Therefore, there is a significant difference in the result of first quarter pretest and posttest of students exposed to Project SIM. The study came up with the findings that there was an increase in the mean percentage score of all the groups in the pretest and posttest. Furthermore, all groups get calculated t-value which is higher than the tabulated t-value. For the conclusion, in the light of the findings, conclusions were drawn that all groups had an increase in their academic performance after being exposed to monthly visits in Science Interactive Museum. Also, it was concluded that Project SIM is an effective intervention tool in teaching science among the grade 7 students of Kaytitinga National High School.